This morning, news spread through a quiet Boston neighborhood. Patricia, a vibrant 73-year-old who hiked weekly and volunteered at the library, collapsed moments after getting out of bed. No warning signs, no previous health issues, just a routine morning that turned into an ambulance ride. What's most alarming? This isn't rare. Every day, millions of seniors unknowingly follow morning habits that silently damage their circulation, weaken their muscles, and dramatically increase fall risks. The first 5 minutes after waking might be the most crucial part of your day, determining whether you'll maintain your independence or become vulnerable to preventable accidents. Today, I'll reveal 5 dangerous morning habits that many seniors practice without realizing the consequences. Stay with me until the end. The 5th habit is rarely discussed, yet potentially the most dangerous of all. Where are you watching from? Drop your city in the comments below and hit that subscribe button for more life-saving health tips. Let's start with a morning mistake. Could be putting you at risk right now. 1. Standing up too quickly. Picture this. You wake up, eyes still heavy with sleep, and without a second thought, you swing your legs over the bed and stand up. It's automatic, a morning ritual you've performed thousands of times. But what seems like simple efficiency might actually be putting your health at serious risk. Dr. Sarah Matthews, a leading geriatrician at Mayo Clinic, calls this the most overlooked danger in a senior's morning routine. She's seen too many patients in the ER after morning falls that could have been prevented with one simple change. Here's what's happening in your body. Throughout the night, while you sleep peacefully, your cardiovascular system downshifts. Your heart rate slows, blood pressure naturally drops, and blood pools in your lower extremities. When you suddenly stand up, your body needs time to adjust, time that many of us don't give it. It's called orthostatic hypotension, explains Dr. Matthews, and it becomes significantly more common after 65. In simple terms, your blood pressure drops momentarily when you stand, potentially reducing blood flow to your brain by up to 20%. That brief moment is all it takes for dizziness, blurred vision, and dangerous falls to occur. Take Robert, a 78-year-old retired teacher from Naples, Florida. Active, independent, and in relatively good health, Robert never thought his morning routine could be dangerous. "I'd been jumping out of bed the same way for decades," he told me from his rehabilitation center. "Then one morning, everything went fuzzy for a second, and next thing I knew, I was on the floor with a broken hip." That split-second dizzy spell led to surgery, 3 months of painful recovery, and a permanent change to his mobility. A recent Mayo Clinic study found that nearly 70% of fall-related hospitalizations among seniors happen within the first hour of waking. The most frustrating part? Many could be prevented with a 60-second morning ritual. So what's the better approach? Think of waking up as a gentle transition, not an abrupt change. When you first open your eyes, remain lying down for a moment. Take 3 deep breaths, wiggle your fingers and toes, then slowly roll to your side and push yourself up to a sitting position on the edge of the bed. The key is to pause here, advises Dr. Matthews. Let your feet rest on the floor for at least 30 seconds while your body recalibrates. Move your ankles in circles, roll your shoulders, and only then stand up slowly. This small change, taking just 1 minute, could be what keeps you out of the ER and living independently in your own home. Remember, independence isn't just about what you can do. It's also about how wisely you do it. Have you ever felt lightheaded when standing up too quickly? You're not alone, and it's a warning sign worth heeding. But standing up properly is just the first step in a safe morning routine. The next critical mistake happens before you even reach for that first cup of coffee. 2. Skipping water. First thing, while you sleep peacefully each night, your body continues working tirelessly, Your heart beats roughly 30,000 times. You take about 3,600 breaths, and you lose nearly a full cup of water through respiration alone. By morning, your body is naturally dehydrated, even before your feet hit the floor. Yet most of us reach for coffee instead of water, not realizing we're missing a critical opportunity to protect our health. This oversight becomes increasingly dangerous as we age. Morning dehydration is a silent crisis among older adults, explains Dr. Jennifer Walters, hydration specialist at Harvard Medical School. By age 70, the body's thirst signals diminish by approximately 40%, meaning you can be significantly dehydrated without feeling thirsty. This creates the perfect storm for morning health issues. When you're dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker and more concentrated, forcing your heart to work harder. Blood pressure becomes less stable, and the risk of dizziness, confusion, and falls increases dramatically. Harvard researchers found that even mild dehydration, just 1 to 2% below optimal levels, can impair cognitive function by up to 30% in adults over 65. That's enough to affect your balance, judgment, and reaction time during those crucial first steps of the day. Margaret, a vibrant 76-year-old from Chicago, experienced this firsthand. "I'd wake up with headaches almost every morning," she shares. "Sometimes I'd feel so lightheaded in the bathroom that I'd grab the counter for support. I thought it was just part of getting older." After fainting one morning while brushing her teeth, Margaret was diagnosed with chronic morning dehydration. Her doctor's prescription was surprisingly simple: a glass of water by the bedside to drink immediately upon waking. "The difference was like night and day," Margaret smiles. "Within a week, the headaches disappeared. I could stand without feeling wobbly. My energy improved, and even my arthritis pain seemed less intense." Dr. Walters recommends keeping water within arm's reach at your bedside. Before you even sit up, take several small sips. By the time you're ready to stand, your body has already begun rehydrating vital systems. For those who find plain water unappealing first thing, try adding a slice of lemon, lime, or a few berries to your bedside water. The subtle flavor makes it more enticing while providing the same hydrating benefits. Perhaps most compelling is a 10-year study from Tufts University, finding that seniors who routinely hydrate within 30 minutes of waking experience 35% fewer fall-related injuries than those who don't. That's a remarkable health benefit from such a simple habit. Remember, your morning glass of water isn't just about quenching thirst. It's preventative medicine in its purest form. And while proper hydration is essential, what you consume next could be just as critical for your morning health. 3. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. For millions of Americans, that first cup of coffee is sacred, the aromatic elixir that transforms us from groggy to functional. But for adults over 60, drinking coffee on an empty stomach might be setting you up for both immediate discomfort and long-term health issues. The stomach becomes more vulnerable as we age, explains Dr. Elena Rodriguez, gastroenterologist at Johns Hopkins Medicine. The protective mucus lining thins naturally over time, making us more susceptible to irritation from acidic substances like coffee. When you drink coffee first thing, you're essentially pouring acid, coffee has a pH of about 5, into an already acidic environment. Without food to buffer this effect, the concentrated acid can irritate your stomach lining, potentially leading to gastritis, acid reflux, and even ulcers over time. But the concerns go beyond just stomach discomfort. Coffee on an empty stomach triggers a surge of cortisol, your stress hormone, which can increase heart rate and blood pressure at a time when your cardiovascular system is already vulnerable after sleep. William, a 75-year-old retired accountant from Seattle, learned this lesson the hard way. "For decades, my morning ritual was brewing coffee before doing anything else," he recalls. "Eventually, I developed such severe acid reflux that I couldn't sleep lying flat. Even my blood pressure was all over the place in the mornings." Williams' gastroenterologist suggested a simple change. Eat something, even just a few bites, before that first sip of coffee. "I was skeptical such a small change would help," William admits. "But within 2 weeks, the burning sensation was gone, and my morning blood pressure readings stabilized." A recent Johns Hopkins study supports Williams' experience, finding that adults over 65 who consumed even a small amount of food before their morning coffee showed 30% fewer symptoms of gastric irritation and more stable cardiovascular readings than those who drank coffee first. So what should you eat? Dr. Rodriguez recommends starting with something simple and easy to digest. Half a banana, a few whole grain crackers, or a tablespoon of peanut butter, just enough to create a buffer in your stomach. You don't need a full breakfast before your coffee, though that's certainly beneficial if you have the time and appetite. Keep these quick options on your nightstand or ready in the kitchen so they're easy to grab before you brew your morning cup. Your stomach will thank you, and you'll likely find you enjoy your coffee even more when it's not causing silent irritation. Coffee itself isn't the villain, Dr. Rodriguez assures. It's all about timing and context. Enjoyed after even a small amount of food, coffee can be part of a healthy morning routine well into your golden years. Now that you've hydrated and perhaps had a small bite before your coffee, let's address another crucial morning mistake that could be setting you up for pain and injury throughout the day. Skipping gentle morning stretches. Many of us wake up feeling stiff and achy, especially in our neck, shoulders, or lower back. It's tempting to simply push through this discomfort, assuming it will work itself out as the day progresses. But that morning stiffness is actually your body sending an important message, one that becomes increasingly critical to heed after age 60. Overnight, your muscles and joints essentially hibernate, explains Dr. James Thompson, physical therapist specializing in geriatric care. Synovial fluid, the natural lubricant for your joints, becomes more stationary. Muscles cool down and contract slightly. The spine compresses. Without gentle reactivation, you're essentially trying to operate machinery that hasn't properly warmed up. The research backs this up. A landmark study in the American Journal of Geriatrics found that seniors who performed even 5 minutes of gentle morning stretching reported 40% fewer muscle strains and balance-related incidents than those who didn't. The simple act of mindfully reawakening your body makes a dramatic difference in how it functions all day. Elizabeth, a 79-year-old grandmother from Denver, discovered this transformative truth after years of struggling with knee pain. "I'd wake up, feel stiff, and just push through it," she recalls. "By afternoon, my knees would be throbbing. I thought it was just arthritis I had to live with." When her physical therapist suggested a series of gentle in-bed stretches before getting up, Elizabeth was skeptical but willing to try anything. "The difference was remarkable," she smiles. "Those few minutes of gentle movement seemed to wake up my joints. The pain didn't disappear completely, but it became manageable. I could play with my grandchildren again without paying for it later." So what does an effective morning stretch routine look like? Dr. Thompson emphasizes it doesn't need to be elaborate or time-consuming. Start while you're still lying down. Gently point and flex your feet 10 times to activate your ankle joints and calf muscles. Rotate your wrists and make gentle fists with your hands. Draw small circles with your shoulders. These simple movements reintroduce movement to your joints and get synovial fluid flowing. Before sitting up, bring one knee toward your chest while keeping the other leg straight. Hold gently for 5 to 10 seconds. Then switch legs. Once sitting on the edge of your bed, Slowly turn your head from side to side and tilt your ear toward each shoulder to release neck tension. The entire sequence takes less than 3 minutes, Dr. Thompson notes, but the protective effects last all day. You're essentially sending a gentle wake-up call to your musculoskeletal system rather than jolting it into action. For those with specific conditions like arthritis or back pain, personalized morning stretches from a physical therapist can be even more beneficial. Many Medicare Advantage plans now cover telehealth consultations with physical therapists who can design customized routines. Remember, these aren't vigorous exercises. They're gentle reactivation movements. The goal isn't to build strength, but to safely reintroduce movement after hours of inactivity. Your body will respond with better balance, reduced pain, and improved mobility throughout the day. Now that your body is properly awakened, let's address what might be the most dangerous morning mistake of all, one that silently affects every aspect of your health. 5. Ignoring your posture when getting up. We've arrived at what may be the most insidious morning habit of all, one that seems inconsequential but silently undermines your health, balance, and even your confidence. It's poor posture upon rising, and it could be the hidden factor accelerating your aging process. When you wake up, do you hunch forward as you stand? Do your shoulders roll inward? Does your head jut forward as you take those first steps? This collapsed posture isn't just about appearances. It fundamentally alters your body's biomechanics and sets off a cascade of negative effects. Morning posture is perhaps the most overlooked aspect of senior health, states Dr. Michael Harrison, orthopedic specialist and posture researcher at the National Institute on Aging. How you carry yourself in those first minutes after waking establishes neuromuscular patterns that persist throughout the day. Poor alignment compounds stress on joints, restricts breathing capacity, and significantly increases fall risk. The research is eye-opening. A 15-year longitudinal study found that seniors with forward head posture experienced 2.5 times more falls than those who maintained proper alignment. Even more surprising, those with chronically poor posture showed accelerated cognitive decline compared to peers with better alignment. Why such dramatic effects? When your head shifts forward just 1 inch, the effective weight on your spine increases by an additional 10 pounds. This forces muscles to work harder, compresses vertebrae, and shifts your center of gravity, making you inherently less stable. Additionally, a collapsed chest reduces lung capacity by up to 30%, meaning less oxygen for your brain and vital organs. Helen, an 81-year-old former teacher from Phoenix, experienced the consequences firsthand. "I never thought about how I stood up or walked," she admits. "Then one morning, I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror, hunched over, looking at the floor. That same day, I tripped on a small rug edge I didn't see and fractured my wrist." During her recovery, Helen worked with a physical therapist who taught her proper morning posture techniques. "It was like learning to stand all over again," she laughs. "But within weeks, I noticed I could breathe more deeply. My balance improved dramatically. Even my chronic shoulder pain diminished." The transformation is scientifically sound. Research shows that proper posture increases oxygen intake, enhances mood through hormonal changes, and improves reaction time. All crucial factors for maintaining independence. So what does proper morning posture look like? Dr. Harrison recommends this simple practice. Before standing, sit at the edge of your bed and imagine a string pulling upward from the crown of your head. Gently draw your shoulders back and down. Take a deep breath, filling your lungs completely. When you stand, keep your chin parallel to the floor, eyes looking forward, not down. It helps to pick a spot on the wall at eye level and focus on it as you stand. Dr. Harrison suggests. This keeps your head properly aligned instead of dropping forward. Each step you take should be intentional, maintaining that tall spine. For reinforcement, place posture reminder stickers at eye level near your bed or bathroom mirror. A simple colored dot can serve as a visual cue to check your alignment during those critical morning moments. Good posture isn't about rigidity, Dr. Harrison emphasizes. It's about proper alignment that allows your body to function as designed. Think of it as honoring the architecture of your body. When the structure is properly aligned, everything works better. The benefits extend beyond physical health. Research demonstrates that upright posture actually triggers biochemical changes that increase confidence and improve mood. Your posture literally shapes how you feel emotionally as well as physically. With your posture properly aligned, you've addressed the 5 most critical morning mistakes. But you might still be wondering, do these small changes really matter that much? Let's explore why these seemingly minor adjustments could make all the difference. 6. Why morning habits matter so much. You might be thinking, I've been getting up the same way for decades and I'm still here. Why change now? It's a natural reaction. When we've done something thousands of times without obvious consequences, our brains create a false sense of security. But there's an important truth about aging that explains why these morning habits matter more than ever. Dr. Richard Klein, aging researcher at Columbia University, explains it this way. The human body works on a principle similar to a savings account. In your younger years, you have abundant physical reserves, excess muscle strength, cardiovascular capacity, bone density, and balance control. These reserves allow you to get away with less than optimal habits. But around age 60, those reserves begin to diminish. Suddenly, habits that seemed inconsequential can push you over important thresholds. It's not that the habits themselves become more dangerous, that your body's ability to compensate decreases. Think of it like a bridge gradually developing invisible stress fractures. For years, everything seems fine. Cars pass over without incident. Then one day, with no apparent warning, collapse occurs. The final car wasn't necessarily heavier. The accumulated stress simply reached a critical point. This explains why so many falls and health crises seem to come out of nowhere in older adults. They're actually the culmination of years of small stresses and compensations that finally exceed the body's capacity. A fascinating study from Stanford illustrated this perfectly. Researchers monitored seniors' walking patterns and found subtle changes. Slightly shorter steps, minor shifts in weight distribution, often appeared up to 6 months before a serious fall occurred. The body was sending warning signals long before the crisis, but they were too subtle to notice without specialized equipment. The good news, Dr. Klein continues, is that the human body responds positively to better habits at any age. Studies show that even people in their 90s can improve strength, balance, and cardiovascular health with appropriate care. It's truly never too late to change course. This is where your morning routine becomes so powerful. Those first 30 minutes after waking represent a critical window when your body transitions from rest to activity. Handling this transition properly sets you up for stability and strength throughout the day. The key is recognizing that these aren't just arbitrary suggestions. They're responses to the actual physiological challenges your body faces every morning. Standing up slowly addresses orthostatic hypotension. Hydrating addresses nighttime water loss. Eating before coffee protects your digestive system. Gentle stretching reactivates your musculoskeletal system. Proper posture establishes optimal biomechanics. Each habit directly addresses a specific vulnerability that becomes more pronounced with age. Together, they create a powerful shield against the most common causes of lost independence. Remember Margaret, Robert, William, Elizabeth, and Helen? Each discovered these truths through painful experience. You have the opportunity to learn from their stories instead of creating your own cautionary tale. So as you consider these morning habits, don't ask, "Why bother changing now?" Instead, ask, "Why would I continue habits that increase my risk when better alternatives are so simple?" Your future self, independent, mobile, and thriving, will thank you for making these small but powerful changes today. If you've watched this far, you've already taken the first step toward a safer, healthier future. You now understand 5 morning habits that could be silently affecting your independence. Standing too quickly, skipping water, drinking coffee on an empty stomach, ignoring gentle stretches, and neglecting proper posture. The beauty of these changes? They're simple, take just minutes, and can begin tomorrow morning. Aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean growing wiser about caring for the body that carries you through life. The small choices you make each morning aren't just habits. They're investments in your future independence. Leave a comment saying, "I commit to caring for my health daily, starting with the smallest details." Your morning routine isn't just how you start your day. It's how you claim your future.